Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell, so you are notified when new videos drop. This is our weekly retread through the horrors of Jodie Whittaker, and it's a lot worse than you think. It actually is. It's a lot worse than you think it is. Because I said last week when we did Rosa. This is Arachnids in the UK. Going into this season, I had a good eye. You know, I wanted to look at it positively. I assumed it would be good. I wanted it to be work. I didn't want to be one of the naysayers who dismissed it out of hand. And so I let a lot of stuff go. And I didn't even remember it. That's why I'm doing these recap reviews, because I think it's really important not to forget how disgracefully awful this era has been. How hateful it's been. What a disaster it's been. I don't think it's right to forget that, because the people who cause it want us to forget it. And I just don't think it's good news whatsoever. Fine, so that's what I'm doing. So I do these live on Sunday nights. Please join me then on Sunday night if you'd like to watch this live. Although you can catch it here on Saturday. It's your choice. I guess April 17th, which will be 2 weeks after this comes out, I won't be doing. I'll be doing a what was it? Legend of the Sea Devils. Oh God help! Legend of the Sea Devils. That week. But other than that, I think it's time to do a real serious retread over quite how terrible this era is. Breathtaking and terrible. Fine, before we get into it, can you hit the like button? I mean, we're not going to like it, but can you hit the like button? You like taking the piss. We all like taking the piss a bit. Can you hit the like button? Can you hit the share button? Can you hit that subscribe button? That'll be fantastic. Double, triple, quadruple dozy. It'll be very, very good. Thank you very much. Can you, did I say the subscribe button? We like to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Shout out to my Substack. Check out the paid version. I'm putting something on it. Don't know what yet, but that's going on before this video goes out. Comment. Let me know what you think. Really, really let me know what you think, and I absolutely will reply to your comments. So like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. All those things are covered. Let's check out the episode. Arachnids in the UK. Arachnids in the UK. It's as we're going to see, it's only designed to take the piss out of Donald Trump and to say how awful he is and what a terrible president he is and how great it'll be when he's gone and what a doofus he is. That would have played somewhat better had we been not living in a world where he was ousted from power, maybe rightly, maybe wrongly. Listen, if you want to follow the science, it seems a bit dodgy, but whatever. But he was ousted from power, and then in the scant 14 months, look what happened, right? Look what happened. There's egg all over your freaking... And you had to use Doctor Who, Mr. Chibnall. You had to use it to trumpet your insane worldview. And with this arrogance that you thought you were doing something that wasn't going to alienate half your audience. Well, it did alienate half your bloody audience. It wasn't about people watching TV differently. It's about people watching TV exactly the same. They didn't want to be lectured to by overeducated morons, which is what you and Stevens and Whittaker are. As we'll see. And also incompetent overeducated morons. So we start, again, no cold opening. We have... It just goes straight in the very... the visuals are good. I'm not going to take away from visuals, but the sound is just like... over. And it's just... The visuals still, they do a solid job, especially like when it zooms up, it goes... And then you're in Arachnids in the UK. Man, what an expression of... like insanity. Arachnids in the UK was again an expression of anarchy, of fighting the system, of being individualism. It was punk rock. This is so the opposite of that. This is conform, and it's using that to make you feel it's cool. Fine. So Arachnids in the UK. By Chris Chibnall. Oh, he's got to get his name in there, get his swipes in. So it starts off, we have a sprawling look at this hotel. We have no idea what's going on. Just like think, and then and we see the Trumper-like. We introduce the Trumper-like very clearly at Trumper-like, right? Not even a question that he's supposed to be Donald bloody Trump. He's a hotel magnate who's running for political office, and he's just evil to the little people. He crushes little people, right? He's so bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. Every story I hear about Donald Trump has always been the opposite, right? Has always been that he's been very good to people who've been around him, right? He strikes as somebody who's very good to you if you're very good to him, right? But he always tries. He tips very well. He everybody just speaks well about him who's worked for him, normally speaking, right? So instantly we're in this fantasy where you just go say Donald Trump is meanie pants, illful. This is what he's really like. Sorry, no, and listen. Compare his kids to Biden's kids. You have Hunter Biden, a crack whore addict. And if there is a piss tape, it's with Hunter Biden in it, or probably Joe Biden, right? If there is a piss tape, that's probably where they got the idea from, because they probably do have a piss tape of Hunter Biden. I mean, listen, I basically have a piss tape of Hunter Biden. Everybody does right now. I have pictures of him smoking crack cocaine, with hookers. But a hooker that looks very much like Lady Gaga, actually, as somebody pointed out, which is okay. I guess he could afford it. And then compared to Trump's kids, they're all like family people, right? They have families and wives. I mean, yes, they may have affairs, and don't get me wrong. I think Trump probably stoops porn stars when he can. I think that happens, right? I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, but this cartoon evil that you've got to put out, why? Why do you have to use Doctor Who to spit your insane bile? You know why you felt okay to use it? Because the idiot world you live in, with no diversity whatsoever, doesn't think it's not speaking for everybody. Okay, you got to get this to your idiot heads. All right, you've all been wrong, right? You've all been wrong about everything. All right, I'm sorry you've all been wrong about everything, but you've all been wrong about everything. And if you don't believe me, just look at anything in the news, you schmucks. What's better? Oh, you idiots! But let's use Doctor Who to make Trump a meanie pants. He's a new villain. Okay, so he's like, just fix it. I don't care how. Otherwise, you're fired. I'm going to be mean to you, and because we're related or something. I don't know. And he's like, I'm a meanie pants Trump. And then she turns up and says, I'm just here getting acquainted because we're starting soon. And I want to do an extra special content. How dare you be here? He's like, you're fired. Get out. Right? And this is so not what everybody says Trump is like. Right? And he's like, you deal with this thing or you're fired too. Anyway, so then cut over. So again, we spent the first few minutes on basically just saying this person who's a very populist president who was very, very good, who was actually quite beloved by, those who voted for him and have been absolutely proved right, is an evil me. Imagine this about Jeremy Corbyn, right? You had an evil socialist who couldn't stop spouting his Jew hatred. Right? A thin guy from the back benches, right? How about that? Would that be fun? Would that be inclusive? Yeah, would you think that's a good use? I mean, of how you actually supported a frickin' racist while you kept screaming that he's a racist? Morons. Anyway, speaking of morons, we're in the new look time vortex, and I don't know, don't really like it. It's like they're like physical tunnels. And you go down different ones at different locations, like Swiss cheese. And the doctors are going, and they still don't really know what they're doing, right? They basically know they've got to be like David Tennant, right? That's basically all they know, right? It's like, that's what and she doesn't really know what she's doing either. She's playing like confused and aloof, and she just doesn't really understand the role at all. So they turn up in Sheffield again. Here we are, Miss Sheffield. Oh, look, I got you back. I'm so clever, me. And they look around. They're like, oh, look, we're home. And it's all kind of awkward. And they're like, well, what do we do? What do you do now? I said, oh, I might just go off and look at stuff. And I don't know. I mean, listen, when John Pertwee demonstrated like a sadness that Joe Grant was moving on without him, right? He drove away. That was after developing real genuine bonds with them over years, over several years. And Joe Grant was somebody, you felt put her life on the line for the Doctor more than once, right? You felt they had a special one, and you felt like he needed to let her go and move on, but that's the sadness of his life. She's just a pathetic, blubbering mess. I'm sorry, you just met these people. For God's sake. Like, you're so needy. It's unbelievable. It's not heroic, and they haven't started their shall we shag yet thing yet. Would you like to come meet your mum? Oh yeah, let's go. I'll come and meet your mum. That'll be fun. So yeah, let's go meet Yas's mum. When we go down, oh Yas's mum. So she invites them to tea, and they're like really playing up the Doctor being socially awkward. Now Graham has a good fortune to be played by Bradley, what's his name? Bradley Walsh, who is undeniably talented, and he's able to put a performance in. So you see in now, he's got to go back home and visit his home first time since his wife has died. Only 30 minutes has gone by, right? Since but they've been traveling for a while by the looks of it, right? But you see, like it just this look, right? You see his nervousness, his anticipation, his like uncomfortableness. Right, and it's interesting because he's more of a looser character, and this is why he had the strongest arc of this season. Right, he actually treated it like an acting job, and he knew what he was doing. Right, and like Ryan, hey, do you want me to come with you? He said, no, I'll do it on my own. He said, oh, we'll meet you back here then, and he slunks off. So then the Doctor comes, and like coincidence upon coincidence, they just kind of flop into the plot. Right. So this woman who I think went missing or something in Hollywood. I can't remember. There was some story with her, the actress. Anyway, and they go, she's looking for a neighbor. It's all just a coincidence. Then she's, cobwebs, spooky dooky cobwebs. So they meet Yaz's family, and Yaz is a complete loser. Like, she's actually got friends. She bought something out. Why are they playing her like this total loser? It's really bizarre. And they're like, they want to know if Ryan's dating her. They want to know if the Doctor's dating her. They just want her to be better, right? Like let's have less of an awful, lonely life. So they're like, they hang around. And this stuff kind of worked with David Tennant because, David Tennant was more personable and he understood what he was doing as a Doctor, whereas Jodie Whittaker just comes off as kind of like an uncaring bitch who doesn't like as a loop, and she's playing like, oh, maybe I'm socially awkward. It's not heroic, right? Well, listen, to be controlled by your emotions is not heroic. To be able to control yourself is heroic, right? To have control of oneself, that's heroic. But this isn't. So then Yaz gets a call. Says, turns out her mum's been fired. And it's her mum who was fired at the beginning, and so she has to go and pick her up. And the father's like senses a conspiracy, so he's keeping garbage in the living room to go through it. Right? Well, I don't know. I don't understand. That was just that's just something they all kind of live with. Oh yeah. So mother phones Yaz and says, "Don't tell your father, but I've been fired." It's all a real bummer, but they're all upset. And she's like, I got to go pick her up. Okay, then we'll pong around here. I mean, look at this. Who thought that was a good idea? Nobody thought. That's the trouble. Nobody bloody thought. It was just like, oh, she's a girl. Right? Anybody who doesn't like it is going to be, and we can't tell her what to do because, we can't mansplain. So again, she talks about being, maybe I'm socially awkward. So Brian again, quite well directed as well. You see how like little he looks in the picture, which is really good because how small he feels. You actually get a bit of empathy for a character for once. Like he looks up at his house he's got to go to, and he's like, you feel his anticipation. It's well directed, right? And he's in, he looks around, and he can't. And you see his wife in out of focus, and these are good scenes, right? Don't fit really in Doctor Who, I would say. But again, these are scenes completely sold by Bradley Walsh, right? Which is again, we at last we actually care about this character, right? We care about a character, which is why he stands out. So apparently, there's a package next door that they want to go pick up. So the doctor they go in. Well, they said, "Oh, my friend's not answering." I said, "Oh, we think we got the package." He said, "Well, I can get you in. I think." He's like, "Would you like me to open the door?" So she sonics her way into it and says, "Oh, we'll do it." Wee! And she doesn't really. You see how she tenses her arm? She doesn't really know what she's doing. I'm sorry, this is not a good performance. I mean, this feels like kind of like she doesn't believe she's doing something with this, right? She acts as kind of like a magic wand. So they go in, and spooky dooky, spiders everywhere, spider webs everywhere, right? Spider web everywhere. Ooh, spooky dooky. And the doctor's scared. Meanwhile, Ryan's there, Graham's there, like remembering that, and while he's there, he hears something from upstairs. So he goes. So they start investigating simultaneously. She goes in. They go into the bedroom and finds like the person dead, wrapped up in spider webs. Now, I think this is too scary, like to just coming out of nowhere. Honestly, I think this is way too body horror-y. Right? I think this is too graphic. I think the mummy in Mummy on the Orient Express is as graphic as it can really get. I think this is too scary, right? I really do. So like, oh, what could have done that? So they go looking around. Hello, there we go. And then they hear something under the bed, and they look, and out comes this huge spider, and they're like, ah! And the doctor shits herself. Here's the thing. I mean, so the guest woman says, "Oh, it's a domestic spider. They're harmless, but they're huge." And the doctor's like, "Run, everybody, run, Icky Thump!" And they're like, "Oh, we'll close the door. That'll do the trick." So then they go and say, "Oh, we got to find something to hold them back." This thing is written really badly, right? So they have to find vinegar and put it down because the spiders are scared of that and they won't cross vinegar, right? So she puts it down, and we have a genesis of a real idiot doctor plan because that's all she can do. And they go, "Oh no, I forgot they can walk on ceilings." And she's like, "Oh, I don't know what to do now." And it plops down, but now it traps itself behind the vinegar. So it's like, oh, you can't get vinegar and garlic, right? Listen, I mean, wouldn't the doctor have worked out it could walk on a ceiling? Not this doctor, because they write her like she's a moron, right? And why is she shitting herself? And she was outwitted by a spider. I mean, like, really? I mean, these are not hyper-intelligent spiders, or maybe they are, although they ignore that because it's stupid. Fine, so they're like, "Oh, better close the door." That's a big plan. Run away and close the door. And then Graham comes and says, "I found a huge spider." And said, "Oh, Rob, let me, look at you. I got my serious face on. Icky Thump." So it turns out that Yaz's neighbor, coincidentally, is a spider expert working in a spider lab, right? Meanwhile, they made all this food, and then everybody's like not coming, and they're all kind of pissed off, and they're sitting there with their bags of garbage. Like, why? I don't know. Somebody explain that to me. Meanwhile, it's just this is so boring, right? Like now they're on this bridge, going to their saying the spiders are out of control, and you have clunky info dump after clunky info dump, right? Meanwhile, evil Trump subordinate, red-headed woman, must deal with it. So she goes to deal with it, goes, oh no! And then she gets stuck away with something. Meanwhile, Yaz is stunning and brave. Stunning and brave and stunning. And she drives to this nice swanky hotel to pick up her mother. And I was like, oh, how are you doing? We're so happy to see you. I'm so sad I've been sacked for no reason. And then all of a sudden, Trump's out with his bodyguard pointing a gun at them. This would never happen. I mean, like, again, why are you putting so much effort into making this guy look evil, who is Trump, right? Why is it so important for you, like, to platform this, right? And how much of a schmuck do you look? And I'm going to say that as many times as you keep doing this, you idiot Chibnall, right? How much of a schmuck do you look now, right? Look at the world that you made, you fucking idiot. Because you did this bullshit. You believed it over and over again. Oh, he's a racist. Good people on both sides. He also said, I absolutely disavow white supremacists in the same speech. Fucking morons. Right? And I'm sorry if I'm a little bit peeved, but they're being on the brink of World War II and looking at World War III and looking at so bloody sorted is starvation, which is on the bloody way by fall, by autumn. Like the idiocy of Biden is beyond me. And I do hope an apocalypse is coming because we need to be saved from this. Anyway, Trump's going to be evil. Oh. So now, so it's just super soap opera writing. This episode in itself drove away 500,000 viewers. Hey, Chibnall, you got 2 million viewers in your last on your last Christmas special, right? 2 million live viewers. That was it. How would you like those 500,000 back? Was it worth you being an obnoxious arsehole yet? No. I bet it was. So exactly. So now they got quite a good suit against them, and they can call the police. And she is the police. I mean, like, okay, whatever. So he's like saying, I told you to get out, and you bought some more people here. And she says she should call the police. I don't understand why she hasn't called the police yet. This is a crime. Like, they threaten them with deadly intent, assault with a deadly weapon, right? Okay, fine. That's the way, I guess the way to go. Fine. So then, but this is a complete coincidence. Remember that the Yaz's mother lives next door. Yaz's family lives next door to a spider scientist, and somebody there has been killed by this giant spider, which has no connection to being a spider scientist, other than it brought a spider scientist to her door who could explain spidery stuff, right? It's just so badly written and thought out because it doesn't matter. All that matters is saying how much they hate Trump, right? That's the only thing that matters in this episode. And you'll see because nothing actually makes sense pretty darn soon. So they've been tracking strange spider behavior. They can't work out if they're angry or scared or what. They don't know what's going on. So the doctor says, maybe they're sending a message. Maybe they want you to know something. She said in a kind of stupid looking, I mean, like, really? How's that? I just don't know. And so now they show as an offhand thing, these spiders have a gestalt intelligence entity, like they're like they're intelligent beings now, right? They're like reasoning. So she's got a map of the strange spider activity. She goes, oh, Icky Thump, let me sleuth my way around this, right? And I don't know why the spider lab has all these spiders on glass. I don't know why, right? But they decided, yes, that's what we need. And she goes, oh, let me sleuth this out. And she ruins the map. She joins everything up and says, what's in the center here? Oh, I don't know. And it's, of course, the Donald Trump Hotel. Because Donald Trump is evil! Worst president ever, except best one ever, as it turned out. Everything they said was the opposite, right? Everything they said was the opposite. So they're investigating. I can't remember why they're investigating. He always said, this room's disgusting. He said, I just checked it yesterday. I don't understand. So they start looking around, and Yaz is stunning and brave and stunning. And she listens in, and she hears spiders inside the walls. Ooh, they're everywhere. Meanwhile, the doctor is at the hotel. I mean, look at the Trump logo. It's like, it really, yeah. So he's taking his scheduled bathroom break, right? He says, no, time to take my scheduled bathroom break. They don't miss any opportunity to take the piss out of Trump. This is not a platform for your bonkers personal politics, right? And you know, what happened? I remember this. This is the one where I knew fandom was in a lot of trouble, right? Because I used to listen to this podcast, Staggering Stories. I thought it was fun, right? I enjoyed it. I saw this and I was really quite aghast. I was like, why is all this politics in it? So I wrote a letter into them. They always say, please write in. And I have an introduction and I talk about all the politics in the episode. And then they close and they read the letter. And then when I said, and then he talks about politics. The reason they didn't want to read it is because everything I said made sense, was right. I wasn't me who put the politics in, right? But they didn't want you to talk about it. They wanted to do it, but if you talked about it, you were wrong, right? Because they lived in this fog of delusion that they were right. That, oh yes, Donald Trump was the worst as ever, and they needed to scream it from the rooftops, right? Because they need to be on the right side of history. How's that right side of history working out for you now, you fucking twats, right? How's that right side of history working, right? So anyway, they stop off, so they make David Tennant, right? David, I feel so sad about Ukraine. You caused it. You caused it, and all your ilk with this nonsense, right? Any person, any horrific footage you see was made by this, right? Was made by this shit over here. We kept telling you. Remember, Gina Carano told you the first thing you have to do is demonize anybody who thinks differently to you, right? Don't you remember? Right? And you said, oh, how dare you compare it to the Nazis? They're exactly the same. And we're in that mess exactly for that reason, right? I don't know if there's a way out of this mess. So he had to take my scheduled bathroom break. And he goes in, and they even take time. They do him washing his hands. Do you remember him? His hands was the thing. They kept saying his hands were small, and it was like, what's going on with you morons, right? And so no, we got to take time on a prime time BBC One schedule, Sunday night, so we can tell everybody how bad the Orange Man is. You fucking twats, right? We would all love that the Orange Man to make things as bad for us again, right? Do you remember having money? Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, so he hears something in there, and he looks in the plug, and he's like, "Whoa, I'm a scaredy cat," and it starts to crack. He's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And out comes a massive spider, right? And it's attacking Trump, this is just wish fulfillment for the Guardian Reader twats that have destroyed the world. Oh yeah, and in comes his bodyguard, he starts shooting it, and he locks him in there, and then the bodyguard gets killed, right? Fine. So now they run out. But the spiders have, So now they've where are they? They've run to the exit, but the spiders have sealed them in with the web. So these spiders are now sentient, right? They're sentient beings. They're like so far. The complete coincidence. I have my notes are Yaz's mum works for the Trump-like hotel, right? Was a manager there. Yaz's neighbor works with the spider scientist. Complete coincidence, right? Now here's the weirdest coincidence. Yaz's neighbor has also been killed by a spider, and this has nothing to do with her working with the spider scientist. That's just purely coincidental. That is the shitness of this writing, right? So fine. So they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? They got sealed in. We got to find a way out. And he's like, oh, the giant spider is taking his friend down, so he runs for it. He's scared, and it's everything they want to see Trump do, right? Yes, oh, please, more of that. So they they meet up and they're like, "What are you doing here? Blah, I'm an evil Trumpolite, but I'm kind of pathetic. Also, I'm kind of charismatic. Hasn't this guy been cancelled for beating his girlfriend? Yeah, how's that aging for you? Fucking twats." What is it? Fine. So then it turns out he has a what was it? They go to the kitchen or something to go and hide from it then. Oh, no, first they go and check it out. They go, oh, it looks like a big spider was down there. And the doctor looks around and sees the spider and then she runs out. Oh, and she shits herself again. I mean, she is so crap, this Doctor Who. She goes, oh, let me do a bit of lecturing. Icky thumb. Donald Trump, bad. Orange man, bad. Oh, where's me pussy hat? Oh, God. And so they all go down to... Oh, they try and get out, but they're sealed in by the spiders, so they're clearly sentient. And they're like, how can this be? So then they run to the kitchen for some reason, right? And that's where they got the plan. The doctor has a shit plan once again. This is all very... veers into CBB, CBBBs, whatever they call it. It's like children's TV on its lowest level. Like, I understand how Chris Chibnall thought this. How there was a script editor that let this go through, let alone Chris bloody Chibnall, right? So we get it's soap opera writing in terms of CBB writing. Also, they can make Donald Trump look stupid, right? So now they talk. Now they even name check Donald Trump. Look at her sneering. Oh, okay. It's just shit. It really is. And you keep sneering at him all the way through. Like he's like, I don't know why you're blaming me for this. So she has a stupid plan. They need to capture a giant spider, so they're going to send Ryan and Graham, who are terrified of them. Well, these two, what they have to do? I can't remember what they have to do. It doesn't really matter, right? They go to he has a panic room, and she's like, "Oh, you can't just kill them." Whatever. Fine, they just drones on, right? Drones on with them going, oh, we hate it. It says all of them just take the piss out of Donald Trump. The whole thing is like, oh, Donald Trump, Orange Man bad, Orange Man bad. So now we're sending Ryan and Graham to try and capture the giant spider, which have killed people. They look reasonably dangerous to me. Ryan, who's scared of spiders, gets one in a giant soup pot. But then there's 1,000 of them come and chase them, and they got to run away. Right, run away. Meanwhile, I don't understand why we're not dealing with there being a Gestalt intelligence, right? I don't understand. Like, again. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So they go and look at the plans of the hotel to work out where they could be. And these plans are useless. They don't even have my panic room in there. And it's like, oh, you have a panic room. What a pansy you are. Yeah, well, really, why not? Okay. I mean, you're surrounded by weirdos all the time. They go, oh, we got to. You have to look in the basement. So they get the spider, but they said, oh, we got to go find the bigger one for some reason. Right? I don't know why. So the spider says, they don't eat people. They don't act this way. Something's making them spooked out. I don't know. So they go to the base and says, look, you can't go in there. He's very defensive. Don't go in there. Don't look. No, danger. And it turns out, yeah, he's actually telling the truth. He's telling the truth. But no, I'm the doctor. I'm studying brave, which means I don't care if something's dangerous, and I can put my friends in danger with me. So I'll come with you because so we can be mean about Trump some more. Trump, once again. How was the economy back then? Oh, it was a little bit better than now, wasn't it? Well, do you remember when inflation was transitory? Right? Do you remember that bullshit? Oh, transitory inflation. Oh, my God. Now it's frozen. I got too worked up. It made it freeze. And they're looking around. They're trying to work out what's going on. And fortunately, got all this lighting in there. And it turns out they're built on a toxic waste dump. And the toxic waste dump happens to be waste disposal, happen to be owned by the Trump person. But first they find these dead people like in husks, being there, waiting there to be eaten. And they're like, but spiders don't act this way. What's making them so crazy? I don't know. And again, they find, and he's got a gun. And like, no, you can't use a gun. They're only trying to kill lots of us. And she looks down there, and then she finds like the radioactive waste dump. So it's essentially the same as Radiation Man from The Simpsons, right? No, what's it got? Was it Radiation Man? It was just like there's toxic waste there that was disposed in a landfill in a way that must obviously meet health and safety regulations because it's all above board. But no, that's not good enough. And they also they dispose of the spiders down there, the carcass of the spiders, some of which weren't dead, making super spiders that were big, right? Big and a gestalt intelligence, but who cares about them being intelligent? We're just going to talk about them being big. And they're like, it's all your fault, capitalist. Excuse me. No. As far as we know, everything was done, again, following health and safety. Well, like you can't dispose of things down landfills, right? That's why they're there for. And if it's not, it's not fine. So it's like, yeah. So here's the incredible thing. Then they go off on Trump not taking any accountability. No, you can't get me. It's not my fault. It's not my car. It wasn't me directly. And yeah, it's getting kind of boring now because again, it's making this guy the antagonist for no apparent reason. And it's all about all the Trump-like dialogue is taking the piss out of Trump, and he has a lot of dialogue, right? So they want to they do a whole thing about him not taking responsibility. It's not me. Excuse me. Have you seen Biden take any responsibility for anything? Right? Have you seen Obama take a responsibility for anything? Have you seen any of the media who lie their asses off to us? Hunter Biden laptop, anyone? Yeah. Have you seen any mea culpa? Any one of these cunts take any responsibility whatsoever? No, you bloody haven't. But no, everything they accuse those they hate of is what they do themselves. That's why you want a piss tape. I reckon it's got Hunter Biden in it, right? That's what I think. And again, why am I ranking on this again? Because they're ranking on it. Fucking schmucks. Okay, that's basically the problem. So fine. Now just again, it's there to take piss out of Trump. It's just and so they're just trying to find pretexts to keep the things going. So now they're looking for a bigger spider, and they look up. First they talk about how his dad has sent him a letter. And he's saying, he said, you can come with me like you're like a proper founder. He says, I don't like that. I don't like him not calling you proper. You are proper, Icky Thump. Yeah, he said, that's quite nice here. So they look up, and there's a giant spider, and they leg it, right? And they go, there's a big spider there. We don't know what to do. Big spider. She's like, oh, big spider. Icky Thump. So then, they're like, we got to come up with a plan. And he's like, well, why don't we take it? First, we got to go to the escape room. They go to his escape room. He gets in it. So look, I got weapons. We can take them out. He's like, you can't kill them. They're innocent, intelligent creatures. Just remember. He's like, well, why not? This is the definition of pest control. They're killing people, you daft idiot. Right? And they're like, no, that's inhumane. Give them a quick death. No, okay, Thump, you can't do that. We're going to do my insanely shit plan, which will actually torture them to death, right? And you know, they have a whole thing about gun control, about like how the Americans are stupid with guns. Excuse me. They got, we've seen what's happened in Canada, and we've seen what's happened in Australia when they take your guns. Right, we've seen exactly what happens. You get totalitarian governments, right? I mean, have you seen how Canada's had its arse handed to you on the world stage? How they say Justin Trudeau shouldn't be allowed to speak in the world forums, right? An embarrassment upon embarrassment. And I have to say, 99.9% of gun owners in the US are law-abiding good people, right? The most gun crimes are committed by handguns, which are exclusively over the black gangs, which are created by democratic left-wing policies, economically disadvantaged people because of their skin color, right? That's where most of the gun crime comes from. What? Insane left-wing policies, just like most misery comes from. Insane left-wing policies. And if you're in any doubt, look back to 2018. Now look to now. And look out your window. And tell me how smug and right you are, right? So here's the plan, right? So the doctor says, we're going to get the spiders to come in by making sound waves. And Ryan's like, I'll be a black stereotype and do body popping. And so this is their plan, right? They weren't going to shoot them because that would be inhumane. No, instead, they're going to trick these intelligent creatures into going into the escape room, locking them in, and letting them starve to death, right? No, they're not going to do the inhumane thing of killing them without pain. No, they're going to have agonizingly starved to death. Right? Thank you, Doctor. And the reason they didn't think about it is because all they cared about is taking the piss out of Trump. That's all they wanted to do. So the spiders all go to their death, to the horrible, painful death. But the evil Trump-alike says, I'm going to stop them torturing these poor animals to death. And they go and get stuff to try and attempt the giant spider out. And he's like, these things are crazy. So they come in and the spider can't breathe. The spider can't breathe because it's too big. And now it's just a bummer, right? Like giant spider, it's dying because it's suffocating. It's just a bummer and it's not fun. It's not Doctor Who, right? So now we got to look at things positively. Well, nothing's really the enemy. Apart from the Orange Man, bad, Eki thought. But nothing's really the enemy. Oh, just the patriarchy. So now killing it is suffocating, would totally be a mercy killing, right? So that's exactly what Sting comes in and do. And they're mad at him for doing it. He comes in and shoots him and says, how dare you not make this animal suffer and make me feel superior. I'm sorry, you stupid cunt. You were freaking torturing this incredible species to death. And why are you suffocating and starving the other ones to death? Why don't you study them? Like, oh, no, we just put radioactive waste down with spider carcasses. No, we don't need to look into that at all, right? We don't need to look into that. Now we have the Doctor hating the Trump-alike, right? And it's in essence hating anybody who liked his policies that were incredibly successful and made our lives better. You idiot morons, right? So we have the Doctor hating half the audience, much more than half now, I would have thought, right? How's that work out your ratings, right? Oh, no, but you had to show them, right? Oh, take that, Orange Man. Yeah, take that, ratings. But you thought it was okay to do because you were convinced beyond convinced that you were right. Oh, we were right. He's a terrible danger for the whole world. No, you were wrong. Again, I believe in God. And you know why I think God allowed this travesty to happen? So you couldn't have any room to wiggle and say, oh, no, I wasn't wrong. You were wrong. Idiots. You were wrong. So now we actually get, as we can see, so we get a bit of a coda. Graham goes back to his house and he looks around again. Again, we get some acting and he sees a ghost of his wife. And again, really nice bit of acting from Bradley Walsh. And we have Yaz's mum badgering her, says, oh, why don't you get out and have a life, you miserable cunt, essentially. And she's right. God, get out and meet people. And I don't know. So they're like, yeah, I think I'll go too. So they all decide they're not going to see the Doctor off. They're going to go and ask, hey, can we come with you? And we get the thing the Doctor loves to do next, right? The Doctor loves to do is he loves to stand up and lecture
the fam as they ask for something. Yeah, now listen to me. I'm stood in prayer. That looks like a big step up they got to do. You want to come here? I might not be able to keep you safe, darling. You can't keep anything safe. Hey, let's go there. Trip of a lifetime. And they're like, yay. Let's go off to the next week's episode, which we're going to do next week.
And join me next week. Next week for the Sugandra. What's it called again? The Sugandra Conundrum, which was garbage. It was absolute garbage. How much garbage is it? We'll find out next week. You can catch me live on Sunday, or you can catch me back here for a rerun. I edited it down a little bit in case I get like these technical issues, like the slides aren't turning. I try and edit out those bits. You can catch me here on the more traditional Doctor Who slot on Saturday night, which I'm sure it's going to return to with the Russell T Davies years. Okay, Russell T Davies 2 years is what I've been saying. Fine. Thank you for joining me. Have yourselves a freaking awesome weekend.